Hello. Um, is the audio fine? Hold on. Uh, okay, well, I have not figured the lighting out fully. But look, guys, better setup, better camera, better quality. Uh, Now I need to do something. I need to do something about this light situation. My face is completely dark. God damn it. Hello. Just think this will be a little bit better. Yeah, hello. I'm Sali. Hello, Adish. Nice of you guys to join. Uh, yep. So, yeah, I think I think my face would be a little better right now, like a little more lit, hopefully. Okay, anyway, can't we can't spend too much time worrying about this. Yeah, hope everyone is doing well. I am NKG. Welcome to my stream. Uh, so some of you would have noticed that I had not been streaming for the past couple of days, couple of weeks in fact, because I don't stream daily. I used to stream weekly, and basically मैंने डिसाइड किया था कि मैं थोड़ा स्क्रिप्टेड वीडियोस पे ज़्यादा फोकस करूँगा एंड थोड़ा लाइक बिकॉज बेसिकली द स्ट्रीमिंग दैट आई वाज डूइंग दैट्स नॉट गोइंग सो वेल इतने ज़्यादा व्यूज़ नहीं थे उसके एंड it was like a lot of effort and a lot of time that I spent for not that much of an outreach. I felt like कि मुझे थोड़ा टाइम लेना चाहिए मे बी मेरा स्ट्रॉन्ग स्वीट इज़ स्क्रिप्टिंग एंड रिकॉर्डिंग स्टफ बट अभी कुछ ऐसे टॉपिक्स हैं जिनके बारे में आई फील लाइक आई नीड टू टॉक राइट नाउ एंड even though like I'm not fully ready with my setup yet and even though like my skin is terrible right now. You can see all my pimples in HD. But yeah, I still feel like, you know what, in the spirit of the people of Ukraine, I have, decided to carry on, whether the odds are against me, whether the conditions are against me, and whether I have any support or not, I'm going to carry on. So, okay, let's start, right? Speaking of Ukraine, Russia has declared war on Ukraine. That's what we're going to talk about largely right now. So, क्यों सब अगर किसी के बारे किसी को पता चलता है क्रेटोस यू हैव जॉइंड जस्ट एट द राइट टाइम सारे इंट्रोडक्शन वाली सारी बकवास को तो यू अवॉइडेड इट सो ओके सो या रशिया has declared war and is engaging in war against Ukraine right now. And कुछ भी होता है ओके वॉर हो रही है क्यों हो रही है राइट दैट्स एवरीबडीज फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन क्या हो रहा है क्यों सो बेसिकली शॉर्ट आंसर राइट जो शॉर्ट में आंसर है ये है कि व्लादिमीर पुतिन द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ रशिया हैज़ गॉन मैड ओके he has gone crazy. He's not playing with a full deck of cards right now. उस वो सारे जो लक्षण होते हैं एक पागल इंसान के दिखा रहा है ठीक है एंड एक आम आदमी के लिए भले ही इतना सीरियस ना हो बट considering that he is the head of the largest country in the world and a country that has like I don't know, there are different numbers like 5,000, 6,000 nuclear weapons with them in their control, in their arsenal. considering all these facts, whatever he's doing is absolutely crazy. And we'll talk about that why कि क्यों ये बहुत ही पागलों वाला डिसीजन है टू गो ऑन एन ऑल आउट वॉर अगेंस्ट यूक्रेन राइट नाउ. ओके, बिफोर दैट थोड़ा बैकग्राउंड बनाते हैं, ठीक है. तुम सबने बहुत सारे वीडियो देखे होंगे. द रीज़न, एक और रीज़न जो मुझे वीडियो बनाने का मन कर रहा है वो ये है कि जो इंडियन मीडिया का जो कवरेज रहा है इस पूरे वॉर का, वो काफ़ी अनसेटिस्फैक्ट्री रहा है. आई हैव बीन रियली डिसअपॉइंटेड द वे दैट दे आर कवरिंग इट. दे आर नॉट प्रॉपरली एक्सप्लेनिंग एनीथिंग. एंड मैं भी यहाँ पे बैठ के लाइक आई नॉट स्पेंड टू मच टाइम ऑन इट, बट आई फील लाइक हमको कुछ बेस लाइन नॉलेज की ज़रूरत है, विच आई विल टॉक अबाउट फर्स्ट. दैट ओके, what exactly is happening. And also hi, VR's not a click, not a lick, okay, whoever, hi, thanks for watching my stream. Okay, diving straight into oh hi Miss Kas, we are not alike. Oh okay, yeah, I'm not good with puns, I'm sorry. I'm not good with written puns. Okay, not to get distracted. So we'll start with the long explanation of war क्यों हो रही है रशिया एंड यूक्रेन के बीच में, राइट. सो ऑफिशियल रीज़न जो रशिया की तरफ से है वो ये है कि दो रीजन हैं यूक्रेन के, ठीक है, डॉनबास एंड दूसरे का नाम एल से स्टार्ट होता है, मुझे मुझे पूरा याद नहीं आ रहा. नॉट डॉनबास एक पूरा रीजन है, उसमें दो छोटे यू कैन से जिले हैं लाइक इंडियन लैंग्वेज में, लाइक छोटे डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं जो जो बेसिकली यूक्रेन रशिया के बॉर्डर पे हैं, ठीक है. इस रीजन के ये जो दो Hi, why don't we say Putin is in? He is. I am coming to that. That's what I'm saying. It is war, and like the reason is it is war because Ukraine is fighting back. But yes, it is initiated by Putin. It's 100% something that's driven by Putin right now. And so yeah, basically, हाँ, so there are like these two regions जहाँ पर like they have just declared independence from Ukraine, right? They have said that okay, these two regions, there are यहाँ पर मिलिट्री के गुट हैं बहुत सारे, ठीक है, मिलिशियाज हैं वहाँ पे, एंड उन्होंने बोला कि नहीं, वी वांट इंडिपेंडेंस फ्रॉम यूक्रेन एंड वी आर नाउ सेपरेट कंट्रीज. वाई एज ओके, so we are now separate countries from Ukraine, right? So and then Russia and like when I say Russia and Putin, I mean like I'll use them interchangeably. Russia, Putin, मैं दोनों एक चीज़ के बारे में रेफर कर रहा हूँ because Putin is representing Russia in the world right now. So Russia is like, okay, you know what, we recognize these independent countries even though none of the rest of the world is doing that. We recognize the independence of these two regions of Ukraine as independent countries, and and you know what, since these are independent countries, ये स्वायत्त देश हैं अपने पूरे, लेकिन इंडिपेंडेंट देश हैं ये, एंड यूक्रेन ने इन पे कब्जा कर रखा है बिकॉज यूक्रेन डज नॉट रिकॉग्नाइज द इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ दीज प्लेसेस, ठीक है. एंड यहाँ पे यूक्रेन की मिलिट्री भी है, यूक्रेन की सरकार भी चल रही है, एंड दे आर लाइक नहीं, यूक्रेन की सरकार वहाँ पर जो लोग रह रहे हैं उनके अगेंस्ट जेनोसाइड कर रही है, उन लोगों को उन लोगों को लाइक यू नो जेनोसाइड बेसिकली किलिंग दम, जो उनको मार रही है, उनको सप्रेस कर रही है. एंड वहाँ का जो टेरिटरी है इन दो इंडिपेंडेंट देशों की, यू नो सपोजिटली इंडिपेंडेंट कंट्रीज़ की, दे आर अनलॉफुली ऑक्यूपाइंग दीज टेरिटरीज. ये उनका नहीं है, यूक्रेन की, ये यूक्रेन की टेरिटरी नहीं है, यहाँ पर उनकी सेना उनकी सरकार क्यों है, ठीक है, नहीं होने चाहिए. एंड इस चीज़ का ठेका अब रशिया ने उठा लिया कि नहीं, अब इन दो रीजन्स के अगेंस्ट यूक्रेन जो ऑफेंसिव एक्शन ले रही है, विच जो लाइक it is does not make much sense, right? It does not make much sense. And genocide, no, genocide, actually the thing is genocide is has a very broad definition right now. Right now, the definition of genocide covers any demographic group. So right now, I think the UN definition of genocide includes demographic groups based on religion, race, shared ethnicity, nationality is also included in that. I think a lot of things are included now, not just national, not just like sort of genetic connection. So बहुत सारी like genocide का word root कुछ हो सकता है, but right now yes, Kyrgyzstan self genocided. Okay, they could not sustain themselves. But yeah, basically that's what I was saying. So yeah, so basically now they have this excuse that okay, इन दो नेशंस को यूक्रेन ने अनलॉफुली ऑक्यूपाई कर रखा है, इन दो नेशंस के अगेंस्ट यूक्रेन जेनोसाइड कर रहा है, वी नीड टू प्रोटेक्ट दीज टू नेशंस इन पर्टिकुलर एंड वी आर सेंडिंग इन आर military. Okay, so they're sending in their planes, they're sending in their tanks, they're sending in their troops, not just to protect these regions, but they have said that okay, it's the government, the in Kiev, in the national capital of Ukraine, that is responsible for these crimes against these two countries, and we need to destroy the government of Ukraine. That's their stated reason. They want to kill everybody, in particular the president, and uh, like that's what they're saying. They want to decimate the government. They're like, we want to denazify Ukraine, right? And by Ukraine, they that's their target. That the Ukrainian like center for government, right? The center of government. That's their target. एंड दैट्स वाई देर सेइंग कि नहीं, हम सिविलियंस को अटैक नहीं करना चाहते, हमारे सिविलियंस से कोई दुश्मनी नहीं है, हमारी गवर्नमेंट से दुश्मनी है, एंड वी नीड एंड वी वांट टू डिस्ट्रॉय द कीव गवर्नमेंट एंड not just infrastructure. That's the thing. It's they are giving the pretense of just having the animosity against the government. Okay, their parliament or their representatives, the President Zelensky in particular, that's who their enemy is, supposedly, according to them. Okay, and everybody who is trying to protect them, their army, Ukraine's armed forces, are then automatically yes, exactly, because that's the thing. This is something that I really really want to point out, जो कि लोगों को, खासतौर पर इंडिया के लोगों को ज़्यादा ढंग से नहीं पता है, कि ये जो दो रीजन्स को ये प्रोटेक्ट करने का ड्रामा कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, जो इसका एक्सक्यूज दे रहे हैं टू दैट दे आर taking all these actions to ensure the sovereignty and safety of these two supposed countries in Ukraine, that like from that have separated from Ukraine. इन इस रीजन में पिछले 8 साल से रशिया हैज़ बीन प्रमोटिंग एंड आर्मिंग एंड फंडिंग सेपरेटिस्ट मूवमेंट्स, ठीक है, वो फुल ऑन, बिकॉज दे हैव अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ रीजन एज वेल, क्योंकि ये जो डॉनबास रीजन है, द एरिया दैट इज़ सराउंडिंग द यूक्रेन रशिया बॉर्डर, वहाँ पर बहुत सारे रशियन स्पीकिंग लोग रहते हैं ऑलरेडी, तो उन लोगों के पास ऑलरेडी थोड़ा बहुत कनेक्शन है रशिया से, एंड सिंस 2014 वहाँ पर लगातार वो प्रोपेगेंडा और मिलिट्री फंडिंग और वेपन्स और इक्विपमेंट प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं कि नहीं, यू शुड सेपरेट फ्रॉम यूक्रेन, ठीक है। एंड नाउ द थिंग इज़, क्या वहाँ के लोगों को एक्चुअल में यूक्रेन से क्या वहाँ के लोगों को यूक्रेन से एक्चुअल में अलग होना है, क्या वो एक्चुअल में इस यूक्रेन से आज़ादी चाहते हैं? वी डोंट नो दैट, ठीक है। वी बिकॉज दे हैव नॉट लेट इट बी क्लियर, वी डेफिनेटली नो कि मतलब हमको ये चीज़ उनका क्लियर कट एक्चुअल में उनका जो व्हाट द विल ऑफ द पीपल इज़, वी डोंट नो द विल ऑफ द पीपल, बिकॉज रशिया हैज़ बीन कॉन्स्टेंटली फंडिंग and promoting and basically propagandizing against Kiev's government, right? Against them being a part of Ukraine, ठीक है। हमको क्लियरली पता है कि यूक्रेन इज लाइक, they have some history of discrimination against these people, but they are definitely not committing a genocide against the people in Donbass region. Okay, there is no proof of the claims that Russia is making that वहाँ पर क्या atrocities हो रही हैं. There is absolutely no proof. Okay, and uh, so basically that's their ये उन्हीं के बोए हुए बीज हैं. These are the seeds that they have sown in that region, and now they are taking that excuse to now attack Ukraine, right? And uh, my big question is, why didn't Russia do this? They started the secession, the promoting the secession in 2014. So in 2014, Crimea already had, like, it was easier for them to organize a pro-Russian demonstration in Crimea, in Sevastopol in particular, right? They had this huge popular protest in Sevastopol against the Ukrainian government. So they had an easier time justifying annexing Crimea, बिकॉज दे क्योंकि लोगों को इट वॉज ईजियर टू डेमोन्स्ट्रेट टू पीपल कि वहाँ के लोग ऑलरेडी रशिया के साथ मिक्स होना चाहते हैं. विद डॉनबास इट्स वेरी वेरी मर्की, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट, बिकॉज वहाँ पर ऑलरेडी मिलिट्री एक्शन लाइक मिलिशियाज एक्टिवेट हो चुके हैं. ठीक है. सो इट्स लेस अबाउट पॉपुलर प्रोटेस्ट एंड मोर अबाउट टेररिज्म basically that's going on in the Donbass region, and they don't want to openly associate with the terrorism, because here's the thing, वहाँ पर ये जो सारी लड़ाई like whatever that insurgency is going on, वहाँ पर there were agreements signed that both the countries will withdraw from that place and they will give more autonomy to these two provinces in the Donbass region, and Russia never, they don't even think that they are part of that agreement. ठीक है. बिकॉज दे आर सेइंग कि ये जो टेररिस्ट हैं, जो भी ये जो मिलिशियाज हैं, हमारे तो हैं ही नहीं है, तो फिर हम क्या करें, हमारे पास कुछ करने के लिए है ही नहीं. इट्स कीव्स गवर्नमेंट दैट नीड्स टू विड्रॉ, इट्स कीव्स गवर्नमेंट दैट नीड्स टू पुल बैक, राइट? एंड दे नेवर डिड. देयर weapons, their armed forces never withdrew from the Donbass region. They never followed the agreements that they are right now claiming that Ukraine has not followed, right? Uh, I don't know, like, this is an American thing. I don't, okay, I guess you're trying to imply that, like, if it turns out, and this is not something that I want to comment on, agar if it turns out that Antifa is openly, clearly being funded by a foreign power, then okay, I guess that this comparison makes sense. Because जो भी मैं डॉनबास रीजन के बारे में बोल रहा हूँ, about the militias that are active there, this is not a conspiracy, this is not like a hidden thing. This is a very clear, open, like, clearly observable fact that Russia is supporting those militias. But yeah, like, Antifa is more of like, like, I believe that Antifa is not supported by a foreign funding, and like, because Antifa is not even armed, right? And Antifa is not even like, they don't have weapons from foreign countries that they are using to cause insurgency in regions of USA. Like, this is more serious than Antifa. This is them having weapons like missiles, vehicles, right, to sort of hold off Ukrainian forces. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's a very big thing. Also, just to be clear, we are not alike. Can you tell me where you're from? Because I think you're from uh, was on the news using a bike lock. Yeah, I we all remember the bike lock fiasco. But can you just tell me where you're from? Because I need to know. I don't think you're from India. Oh, you're an American. Okay, cool. Thank you. I had a idea that you might not be Indian. So here's the thing, right? Even if you look at my stream title, this everybody can watch. I'm trying कि मैं दोनों languages में बोल रहा हूँ. I'm trying to speak in both languages, but I'm primarily talking to people in India. I want to bring it around to what India's role is in all of this, right? And India की position क्या है इसमें? What is thank you for that. So continuing, right? So that's the thing. That's currently the reason. That's currently the justification for Russia to invade Ukraine. Okay, and already हमने while talking to we are not alike, we already हमने डिस्कस कर लिया कि किस तरीके से बहुत ज़्यादा सॉलिड रीज़न नहीं है. ठीक है. एंड बेसिकली रशिया को हमेशा से ही प्रॉब्लम रही है, लाइक यूक्रेन में वो कुछ कुछ करते रहते हैं, ठीक है. दे हैव ऑलवेज ट्राई टू डिस्टेबलाइज यूक्रेन. इट्स नॉट इवन इन पर्टिकुलर पुटिन, बट since 1991 when USSR dissolved and Ukraine became its own independent country, ठीक है, after the resolution of USSR, uh, they have always just tried to, like, because उनके पास, like, USSR, sorry, Ukraine at the time of independence had like 1900 nuclear weapons, but by 1994 Russia was like, नहीं, they should not have those, ये वापस करो, ठीक है. And they had to give up those nuclear weapons. Ukraine had nuclear weapons and they had to surrender them to Russia just so that Russia would stop annoying them, basically, ठीक है. And then the rest of the countries, UK, America, Germany, all these countries then agreed कि ठीक है, we will be more peaceful with Ukraine. We will try to avoid conflict with Ukraine because these Ukraine is voluntarily giving up their nuclear weapons, which is a big deal, by the way. You have nuclear weapons already and you have to give them up. That's a big deal. And all they did that for was to maintain peace with Russia. Okay. And uh, what about, didn't they give up nukes under yeah, it was an international agreement. It was an international agreement. It was supported by America, France, Germany, all these existing nuclear powers. It was supported. वो लोग सब support कर रहे थे इस चीज़ का कि ठीक है, just give them the nukes, we will be peaceful with you, we are not going to attack you, like, promise, pinky promise, ठीक है. So, and Ukraine never gave them a reason to attack them and all that, right? It's not all about, so India's significance in this is not only about nuclear weapons, but I want to hammer on the point about nuclear weapons, because I want you to understand that Ukraine does not have nuclear weapons and Russia has a ton of nuclear weapons. That's something that I want everybody to understand properly. Okay? But moving on from that, like, not to hammer on the same thing again and again. Uh, uh, yeah. Sorry. So Russia's offensive against Ukraine, right? Another thing that I really want to mention is Russia had started. उन्होंने काफी टाइम पहले से ही they had started putting, like, organizing their troops around the border of the Ukraine and Russian border, and even Belarus and the Chechnya and all that. ठीक है, they had started encircling Ukraine since months ago. ठीक है, months ago the US satellites had spotted the Russian troop movements around the Ukrainian border. ठीक है, and then US State Department had officially declared that हमको पूरा लग रहा है कि Russia wants to invade Ukraine, right? Uh, and yeah, you're right, Kratos. They also have the world's biggest nuclear bomb, and Tsar bomber, right? Uh, huh? Yeah, I don't know. See, that's the thing, right? I cannot be comprehensive. I'm trying to focus on one topic right now. So I know there are stuff going around all over the world, or there are a lot of other wars going on, and like, I know, ठीक है, that there's a lot of shit going on in other parts of the world as well. I just think that for this particular issue, Indian people, like normal and average Indian voter, is not very decided on किसको support करना चाहिए, who they should support, what side they should take, right? And that is something that I want to inform people about. That, okay, what's the situation, and, like, you can decide. That's the thing that I want to do. That I want to give people the knowledge to be able to make an informed decision about whom to support and whom to oppose, right? And yeah, we will come to China. We will come to China. And so basically, yeah, so as I was saying, रशिया को हमेशा से ही कुछ ना कुछ चुल मची रही है यूक्रेन से, ठीक है. They never got over the fact that Ukraine is a separate country, and I think one of the biggest reasons for that also is, after independence Ukraine has been very friendly with the western countries. तो जो भी आपका यूरोपियन यूनियन है, ठीक है, अमेरिका है, Ukraine has tried to be very friendly diplomatically with them, trying to trade with them more, trying to have more diplomatic, peaceful relationships with them. And ये चीज़ रशिया को पसंद नहीं है, ठीक है? For obvious reasons. Russia is still anti-West. रशिया की philosophy अभी भी, like, even though they are not calling themselves communists, they are still pretty anti-West, anti-America, and then anti-West overall as well. ठीक है? And in fact that was one of the reasons जो मैं बता रहा था ना अभी, कि all the troop movements जो उन्होंने महीनों पहले start कर दिए थे, all these soldiers that they had readied at the Ukrainian border, ठीक है? One of the उनका जो बहाना था उस समय वो ये था that Ukraine was trying to join NATO, ठीक है? अगेन सो थोड़ा सा टाइम लेते हैं नेटो को समझने में. व्हाट नेटो इज, इट्स वेरी वेरी सिंपल, ठीक है? नेटो वॉज फाउंडेड to keep Russian power in check. They were founded so that Russia does not grow too powerful. ये उनका stated goal है. This is not again not a hidden conspiracy kind of like implication. This is their clear cut goal. This their unofficial motto is fuck Russia. ठीक है? They NATO as an organization is pretty anti-Russian. There is no doubt about that. But NATO is not like a joint army, ठीक है? What it is a defensive alliance. Defensive alliance, right? What does defensive alliance mean? Defensive alliance simply means कि ठीक है, कई सारे देशों का संगठन है, कई सारे देशों ने आपस में मिलके बोला, ठीक है, आपस में मिलके एक एग्रीमेंट साइन किया दैट अगर रशिया हम में से किसी भी एक पे अटैक करता है, ठीक है, तो हम सब रशिया पे अटैक करेंगे, ठीक है? दैट्स नेटोज स्टेटेड गोल राइट नाउ. इफ रशिया अटैक्स एनी ऑफ द नेटो मेंबर्स, any of the countries that are part of the NATO alliance, everybody will attack Russia. Everybody that is in the alliance, ठीक है? और इस अटैक की रेडीनेस के लिए जो देश नेटो के पार्ट हैं उन देशों में नेटो के वेपन्स, नेटो के कुछ कुछ सोल्जर्स भी तैनात रहेंगे फॉर रेडीनेस टू लॉन्च एन इंस्टेंट अटैक अगेंस्ट रशिया, ठीक है? दैट्स नेटो. एंड like, okay, it is understandable why Russia does not like NATO, because NATO is clearly against Russia, like it is. But जो कि the thing that I really really want to highlight is that it's a defensive pact, okay? It's a defensive agreement. It is not an army that's organized to attack Russia. It's a agreement to retaliate against Russia in case Russia attacks any of its members. That's NATO, ठीक है? And but Russia को ये चीज़ नहीं समझ में आती. Russia does not take it like that. Russia thinks that NATO is an active threat for them, and that is the reason. जैसे यूक्रेन ने बोला कि okay, you know, because that's what I was talking about. Ukraine has been very friendly with the Western countries, right, and organizations, and they were like कि नहीं, NATO, which is again largely made up of Western European countries but also some Eastern European countries, if you're trying to ally with them, अगर तुम उनके साथ मिलना चाह रहे हो, that means you are a threat to Russia now, ठीक है? And that's the reason that they were like नहीं, we are पुटिंग और ट्रूप्स, हम लोग अपने सैनिक तैनात कर रहे हैं नेटो से और यूक्रेन से बचने के लिए, उनसे उनके अगेंस्ट डिफेंड करने के लिए, ठीक है? विच डज नॉट मेक सेंस बिकॉज मैंने अभी बताया यूक्रेन हैज़ नो न्यूक्स एंड नेटो इज़ ए डिफेंसिव अलायंस. एंड ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट सबसे बड़ी बात, नेटो रिजेक्टेड यूक्रेन्स रिक्वेस्ट, ठीक है? यूक्रेन, नेटो ने मना कर दिया, नहीं तुम हमारे साथ मिलोगे, दैट विल अपसेट रशिया टू मच, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू अलाउ यू इनटू नेटो. दैट वाज डन. रशिया स्टिल डिड नॉट चिल, दे स्टिल डिड नॉट रिलैक्स, बिकॉज द ओनली रीजन वाज that Russia wanted NATO to say that okay, it's not good enough that you reject Ukraine, you have to say that you will never accept Ukraine. in your alliance, which NATO did not do. ठीक है. एंड इसको लोगों ने इंटरप्रेट कैसे किया है कि नहीं, दे आर सेइंग कि नहीं, नेटो इज प्रोमिसिंग देम फ्यूचर मेंबरशिप. NATO is promising Ukraine future membership. That's how people have interpreted it. And so many people online and offline and governments believed this excuse by Russia. Because आप देखो online जाके, just look at the news and the statements by these people, all the political commentators and politicians just 1 week ago. They were like, Russia तो attack कर ही नहीं सकता. How the hell would Russia attack? Russia cannot attack. Russia has no reason to attack Ukraine. Okay, that's what they were saying. That Russia, why would Russia attack? They won't attack. They don't want to attack, and they did. They did now, right? And yeah, that's what I was, hi, little brethren. But that's what I was trying to hammer on right now. NATO is a defensive alliance. It is only a danger to Russia if Russia plans to attack its members. Do you understand this? If a country becomes, if Ukraine becomes a part of NATO, it's only a problem for Russia if they plan to attack Ukraine, which we now know that they did. They always planned to attack Ukraine. They could not chill about Ukraine. Okay? They could not happily coexist. Okay? So I don't care NATO. Like I am pretty critical. I don't think there should be alliances against one country specifically. But it is a thing. But like right now it is Ukraine's will. वहाँ के लोगों की, वहाँ की गवर्नमेंट्स की ये इच्छा है कि वो नेटो ज्वाइन करें. इट्स दे थिंक दैट इट्स इन देयर बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट. रशिया को कुछ बोलने की, like, what does Russia have to say about that? Russia should not have a say in this. It's as simple as that. It's Ukraine's people deciding what their country wants to do. Okay? And and by the way, incidentally, that was the reason that Russia was so casual. Russia was so feeling so justified in annexing Crimea, because they were like, नहीं, क्राइमिया के लोग चाहते हैं हमारे साथ ज्वाइन करना, रशियन फेडरेशन ज्वाइन करना. दैट इज़ वाई इट्स ओके फॉर अस टू इन्वेट दैम. बट नाउ दैट रेस्ट ऑफ द यूक्रेन वांट्स टू ज्वाइन नेटो, then what is the basis for opposing that? वहाँ के लोगों की मर्जी है ये. ठीक है. So yeah, so that's the current situation right now. ठीक है. So one thing again is that I don't even know if Putin actually believed what he was saying about like trying to defend his country against NATO and Ukraine. ठीक है. I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know if he actually believed that. The rest of the world definitely did. The rest of the world definitely believed him. I don't know if he himself believed that. But nonetheless, it gave him an excuse or a reason to be prepared to attack Ukraine. And last Thursday, they did attack Ukraine. Okay? And it was always illogical. ये वाला लॉजिक ही नहीं. यूक्रेन, रशिया डज नॉट वांट टू अटैक यूक्रेन. वो बस डिफेंसिव, दे आर जस्ट बीइंग डिफेंसिव. वो सिर्फ डिफेंसिव पोजिशंस पे खड़े हो रहे हैं. दैट वाज ऑलवेज इलॉजिकल. बट दैट्स नॉट द रीज़न वाई आई एम कॉलिंग पुटिन लाइक क्रेजी. ओके. द रीज़न मैंने स्टार्ट किया था इस चीज़ से कि बहुत सारे रीजंस हैं कि एक फुल आउट खुलेआम वॉर करना एक दूसरे इंडिपेंडेंट, इंटरनेशनली रिकॉग्नाइज्ड डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री के ऊपर. ठीक है. दैट्स लाइक द रीज़न इज़ नॉट दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग, दैट द होल नेटो थिंग. Okay, or the even about the Donbass region. The reason why I called him crazy and the reason why I consider him crazy is because it's absolutely mental for any country in 2022 to go on an all-out open offensive against a different country. Okay, and there are two categories of reasons for that. दो टाइप के रीज़न है. अभी तक मैं जो बता रहा था अबाउट न्यूक्लियर वॉर एंड अलायंसेज, ऑल दीज आर मिलिट्री रीजंस. ठीक है. थिंक ऑफ इट लाइक दैट. इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान, राइट? इंडियन गवर्नमेंट, इंडियन पीपल हेट पाकिस्तान, राइट? वी वुड मच रादर दैट पाकिस्तान आइदर हमसे मिल जाए या हमारे हमारा फ्रेंड बन जाए, लाइक हमारा जस्ट बिकम्स एन एलाई टू अस, हमारी हाँ में हाँ हर चीज़ में मिलाए, हमारे साथ ज़्यादा ट्रेड करे, हमारे साथ फ्रेंडली रहे, राइट? But we don't ever think, like nobody in their right mind, nobody in the government actually thinks that, like, I'm sorry Hamza, like I know I'm sorry, Hamza, but I'm not talking that this is something that a sentiment that I share, but this is like a broad narrative in India. Okay, this is not something that I'm saying as NKG. I'm saying this is a broad sentiment in India, right? And even if considering that, India has never actually thought, Indian government, Indian army, Indian official, any politicians ever has thought that it would be a good idea to attack Pakistan, like just send in our planes, send in our tanks, send in our troops into Pakistan. Okay? Why? Because Pakistan also has nuclear weapons, and second, Pakistan's government इज अलाइड विद चाइना, चाइना विल कम इन देयर डिफेंस, ठीक है? तो यही दोनों चीज़ें, सिमिलर टू हाउ यू आर सीइंग, दीज आर द टू थिंग्स दैट आर मिसिंग फॉर यूक्रेन, राइट? सो हमारे जो रीजन है, लाइक द रीजन आई एम ब्रिंगिंग इंडिया पाकिस्तान इज बिकॉज सम रशियन प्रोफेसर, राइट, आई वॉज रीडिंग सम रशियन political science professor was giving an interview to an Indian news channel, and वो बता रहा था कि okay, why this war is justified, and he was giving the example of how, yeah, India would also want a India friendly Pakistan, right? But that's the thing, इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान का रिलेशन रशियन यूक्रेन पे इसलिए नहीं अप्लाई होता बिकॉज यूक्रेन नीदर हैज़ ए स्ट्रॉन्ग मिलिट्री अलायंस विद एनी अदर कंट्री, नॉर डू दे हैव न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स, ठीक है? सो द मिलिट्री रीजन डज नॉट अप्लाई टू दैम. Russia does not have a military reason to not attack Ukraine. But what Russia okay, I took it too seriously. Sorry, Hamza. But रशिया के पास जो दूसरा रीज़न है, which is that's the main thing, that's the absolutely idiotic thing that they are ignoring, is economic reasons, ठीक है? इस समय अर्थ पे जितनी कंट्रीज़ हैं सब एक दूसरे के साथ ट्रेड करती हैं, सब एक दूसरे से कुछ खरीदती हैं, सबको कुछ बेचती हैं, कुछ इंपोर्ट करती हैं, कुछ एक्सपोर्ट करती हैं, अपने बिजनेसेस दूसरे कंट्रीज़ में ऑफिसेज खड़े करती हैं, ठीक है? दे आर all part of a global trade cycle, right? Including Russia. Russia is also not an isolated country. Russia also trades. They sell their oil and like to other countries, right? And they export weapons to other countries. ठीक है? These are all those things that are happening economically, globally, right? इसकी वजह से सारी कंट्रीज़ की एक दूसरे पर इंटरडिपेंडेंस है. इंडिया की कुछ कंट्रीज़ पे कुछ पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए डिपेंडेंस है, ठीक है? रशिया की भी कुछ ऐसी डिपेंडेंस है. ऑल दी कंट्रीज, इवन अमेरिका इज़ डिपेंडेंट ऑन अदर कंट्रीज. सबसे बड़ा एग्जांपल है चाइना. अ लॉट ऑफ द कंट्रीज आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन चाइना फॉर अ लॉट ऑफ कंज्यूमर प्रोडक्ट्स, राइट? सो इट, इवन इफ देयर वर नो न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स इन अमेरिका एंड चाइना, it would still be extremely stupid for America to attack China, because that would hurt their business with China. Everything that they're buying from China and everything that they're selling to China all will be stopped, ठीक है? एंड उनकी इकॉनमी सफ़र करेगी. एंड दैट्स, यू मस्ट बी सीइंग ऑल दोज मीम्स ऑन सोशल मीडिया दैट रशियन इकॉनमी गड्ढे में जा रही है पूरी. रशिया का जो करेंसी है रूबल्स, दैट हैज़ लेस वैल्यू देन like the Roblox, like the video game currency of Robux right now. Okay, that's what they're seeing this. ठीक है? And it's not, again, ये चीज़ ऐसी नहीं है कि जो अटैक करने के बाद उनको पता लग रही है. Everybody in the world knows this. If you declare war against a country like that, your business, your economy will suffer. ठीक है? And Putin decided that, oh, you know what? It's fine, dude. It's okay. It's fine. मुझे क्या है? Okay, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons, by the way, why it's a bad idea to have authoritarian leaders recognized internationally. Okay, because they can just do this shit. They don't care about the economy. The people, the regular citizens, those are the people who suffer because of the economy. Putin is not suffering because their ruble's value has fallen. He is the president. He is the autocrat. Okay, उसे किसी की सुनने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. उसके लिए सारी फैसिलिटीज, उसके लिए सारी कन्वीनियंसेस लाइफ की उसकी कंट्री उसे प्रोवाइड कर रही है. ठीक है? ही डज़ नॉट केयर. ओके, the people suffer, the citizens suffer. And that's what they're doing right now. That's what's happening with Russia right now. Okay? And because again, uh, yes, that's the thing. But China, even and China and Russia included, this is one of the things. This is जहाँ पर ये जो trade interdependence है, which Putin ignored. That's the reason why Indian government is in a pickle right now. They're in a very very difficult situation right now. ठीक है? क्योंकि India, let's talk like just like China, right? China does a lot of their business with USA as well. India does a lot of her business with USA and Russia. Okay, almost equally. Like this is something, and this is not something क्योंकि consumer products नहीं import करते हम रशिया से. What we import from Russia are weapons, ठीक है, and vehicles like ships and aeroplanes and weapons like guns, right? AK-203s and nuclear submarines. We have ordered these things from Russia. These contracts are right now active, by the way. ठीक है, हमारे पास active contracts हैं to import stuff manufactured by Russia right now. And see, that's the thing, Hamza. Like, it is indefensible. That's what I'm saying. Even for India, it is indefensible. For everybody in the world with two brain cells, what Putin is doing is indefensible. Okay, but India is still not openly condemning Russia, right? Why? Okay? Because it's a very simple thing, guys. There are two perspectives on this. There's the human perspective and there's the Indian government perspective. From the perspective of a normal human being, whatever Putin is doing is absolutely bad. Okay? No two ways around it. It's and the absolute worst thing he could be doing right now. But from the perspective of the Indian government, that is something that I want to communicate with you guys. Okay, with from the perspective of the Indian government, यहाँ पर प्रॉब्लम ये है कि वी ऑल्सो हैव ट्रेड टाइज विद रशिया. ठीक है, हम भी बहुत चीज़ों के लिए हैं, ख़ास तौर पर अ लॉट ऑफ वेपनरी दैट वी आर यूजिंग टू मेंटेन द लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल ऑन लद्दाख, right? The regions bordering Pakistan and China in the northern parts, a lot of those weapons are being imported from Russia. ठीक है, we have imported Sukhois from Russia. And एक बार ऐसे once you import these weapons and planes and ships and all, ऐसा नहीं है कि ठीक है हाँ import कर लिया बात ख़त्म. You have to maintain them, and to maintain them you need engineers, you need spare parts. All of these are also imported again from Russia, right? And okay, let me just read what this thing. I'm just saying Russia can just make China as a major trade partner, and even if Russia has sanctions short term, Russia won't be affected that much because of their massive foreign exchange reserves. But that's the thing, that they will have to limit, they will have to alienate themselves from the rest of the world. They will have to rely completely on Asian countries. So जो भी उनका वेस्ट के साथ all the banking, all the trade, all the import export that they could have, that they are doing right now with the European countries, will all be stopped. Okay, this will all, their entire diplomatic relations with all these countries will be dead. ठीक है, they will be further alienating themselves because the world keeps on moving, Kratos. ठीक है, आज पीस टाइम बन भी जाए, ठीक है, कल वॉर भी हो सकती है. अब किसी को पता नहीं कि फ्यूचर में कौन किसका एलाय है और किसकी किसको ज़रूरत पड़ सकती है. एंड इट इज़ ऑलवेज ए बैड आइडिया टू मेक योर कंट्री isolated from an entire part of the world. Imagine if India had done this, dude. If India has historically tried to make a balance between the Russian part of the world and the US, the western part of the world. Why? Because India के लिए नुकसान है इस चीज़ में. We cannot depend. Can you imagine so much investment that is done by US and European countries in India? Right? All of that will be withdrawn if the sanctions that they are applying to Russia are applied to India as well, right? Indian government obviously does not want this. Like you can look at um, uh, the speech given by the representative of India in the United Nations Security Council, but you can see that उन्होंने like they did not say anything. वो किसी साइड को नहीं बोल रहे कि they're like yeah please guys please keep peace, please let's do diplomacy, please let's not do war, but they did not say who's doing war and who should stop, right? And they just focused on something which is more defensible कि हाँ there are a lot of Indian people in Ukraine and we need to India's first priority is to ensure those Indian citizens living in Ukraine their safety, right? And so that's why like from in the United Nations Security Council, which is the primarily like the the world police in a way, वहाँ पर इंडिया चुप है, ठीक है? क्यों चुप है? दैट्स द थिंग, आई डोंट वांट पीपल टू गेट रेडिकलाइज्ड, ठीक है? क्यों इंडिया क्यों चुप है? देयर इज अ गुड रीजन. इंडिया विल सफर if India takes a side on this. If India takes Russia's side, then all US and European trade is lost to us. And if America opposes Russia, then we lose all the trade that we have with Russia. Okay? And we are dependent on both of them. We cannot afford to be independent from either of these things. Okay? And I don't care how much Russia suffers in the long term or not. What I care about is how much India suffers. Okay? Because as you might have noticed, Kratos, as you might know very well, Russia and China have a good ally, like diplomatic relations. India and China do not. India has essentially sanctioned China. We have essentially tried to stop Chinese business and Chinese investment in our economy, right? And I don't oppose that, but that's the reality of the situation. हम क्या करेंगे? रशिया तो कर लेगा. रशिया इज सो बिग, दे हैव लाइक दे कैन दे यहाँ रशिया में इतने सारे लोग और इतना बड़ा रीजन है वो, दे कैन सेल्फ सस्टेन, ठीक है? USSR existed for like tens of years by and they were pretty much isolated from the European American trade, ठीक है? They managed, but how will India manage, right? That's the thing that I want you to understand. अभी तक जो भी मैंने बोला था इससे पहले outside of bringing up the trade things like the economy and finances and all that, वो सब मैं एक नॉर्मल इंसान की तरह बोल रहा था, एक नॉर्मल ह्यूमन बीइंग की तरह बोल रहा था. अभी जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ वो एक प्रैक्टिकल इंडियन गवर्नमेंट के व्यू पॉइंट से बोल रहा हूँ, ठीक है? मोदी like tried like the thing that he did, right, with trying to call Putin and like hey please please be peaceful, like just stop, don't do that. India can't take a strong stance is what I'm trying to say. Indian government, Indian people and you, everybody should be free to judge as long as you are not a representative of Indian government on any level, right? As long as you are not literally a diplomat, you have the freedom to express online, offline, and everywhere a condemnation of Russia. Okay? But do not expect the Indian government to join you or to agree with you or to sort of abide by your stance. Okay? And like the biggest thing Indian government can do right now is to just sit tight and see how this turns out. Okay? And that's the reason why I did this stream today. I got a little rushed because I was trying to respond to comments, but that's the thing. Like that's we can even look at some of the like there is this really good article on The Wire, which like gives a very good summary of whatever I've just now said. Hold on. Let me just share my screen with you and let me just show you that. Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. They are willing to cut them off. They are like, ठीक है, we can do without your natural gas because Russia is one country, European Union is multiple countries, working together diplomatically. They are aligned with each other. They are they are like cooperative with each other is what I'm trying to say. Okay? India does not have this cooperative bloc. India only has weaker countries than it that align with it. India does not have equally powerful or more powerful countries aligned with itself outside of Europe, America, and China. Okay? And and like, okay, maybe theoretically, right, maybe it will be possible for India to survive by isolating like one of these two groups. It will be, you have to admit, it will be really really difficult. Okay? Indian economy will enter like a multi-year period of recession. Okay? And our military positions will be heavily weakened. That's the danger with cutting ties with Russia. Okay? And China can very easily take advantage of that. China will have double reason. China will be like, okay, you're not supporting Russia, who is our friend, so you're our enemy, and also you're weak, so why can't we just attack you? What's stopping us? Literally, there will be nothing stopping them. Okay? For like coming down from us, coming down from the northern mountain regions to actual mainland India. So yeah, I just wanted to share, like, I'm not going to read this entire article out loud, but I really really want to share it. Hold on, let me fix this. uh, yeah, that's also one of the reasons. Yeah, that is a good point, Hamza. One of the reasons why China cannot, okay, let me fix my face cam first, then I'll reply. uh, have I logged this? Let me unlock this. Now, now you stay. Da-na-na-na-na-na. I've recently upgraded to an HD camera, guys. Sorry. Uh, I am literally suffering from success. Okay, this is fine, right? Yeah. So this article, right? This article by The Wire. Uh, India is realizing it has no safe hand to play. This is a very, very important and very like like informative, okay, article on what I'm talking about. Okay, you can read it on your own. You can just Google The Wire Ukraine Russia India. Okay, I'm pretty sure you'll find this article. But basically, yeah, this outlines everything that I've said. So many military contracts that we hold with Russia, and then so much like, and then military contracts that we hold with USA, and all the investment that we have from the rest of the world. We cannot afford to lose any of that. Okay? So and also, like, one another thing that I wanted to talk about. ये जो एक नैरेटिव चल रहा है कि नहीं, लाइक ये वाला, लेट मी जस्ट, या दिस थिंग, दिस अनॉयज मी टू नो एंड. ठीक है? ये बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा अनोइंग चीज़ है विच आई वांटेड टू ऑल्सो एड्रेस टुडे. Did you know that Ukraine had condemned India after the 1998 nuclear tests? Right? So basically, because the thing is, I am not in this debunking business. I want people to be aware. मैं चाहता हूँ कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा एक्यूरेट इन्फॉर्मेशन हो, एंड लोग अपने आप डिसाइड करें कि उनको कौन सी मोरल पोजीशन होल्ड करनी है. ठीक है? बट ये चीज़, दिस रीजनिंग, राइट, दैट यू आर सीइंग ऑन योर स्क्रीन राइट नाउ, दिस इज एब्सोल्यूट, like absolute zero IQ arguments. Okay? And I don't see anybody making these arguments except right wingers. Okay? I've discovered Op India is pretty much a right wing platform. ठीक है? Okay, so let's analyze this, right? Let's learn more about this. So basically, India has tried at least twice to become a nuclear weapons enabled nation, right? In 1970s, early 1970s, when like during Indira Gandhi's prime ministership, that time we did some nuclear weapons experiments, some tests basically. Okay? And then since then, we did not do anything until 1998 when we surprised the world under Atal Bihari Vajpayee's prime ministership. We surprised the entire world by conducting our own nuclear weapons tests in Pokhran, in a place called Pokhran. Those are popularly known as the Pokhran tests, right? We did that because we had information, we had intelligence that suggested that Pakistan is also developing or might also develop their own nuclear weapons. Okay? And as a response, we did not want to be caught off guard. We did not want to be the country in a conflict without the nuclear weapons. Okay? Because we have always been at odds with Pakistan. We have always had a tense relationship with Pakistan. सो हमने अपने खुद के न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स डेवलप करे, टेस्ट करे, दुनिया को बताया हमारे पास भी न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स हैं. ठीक है? अब यूनाइटेड नेशंस सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल, यूनाइटेड नेशंस जनरल असेंबली, सबका शुरू से ये रहा है कि नहीं, नए देशों को और न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स नहीं मिलने चाहिए. ठीक है? जो कि एक तरफ थोड़ा सेंस बनाती है, एक तरफ थोड़ा सेंस नहीं बनाती. एक तरफ से दुनिया में ज़्यादा न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स होना दुनिया के लिए खतरा है ओवरऑल. जितने ज़्यादा न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स हैं उतने ज़्यादा धरती तबाह हो सकती है. ठीक है? और दूसरी तरफ, वाई शुड ओनली दीज 5 कंट्रीज दैट हैड द न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स टू बिगिन विद, उन्हीं के पास क्यों रहना चाहिए? उनके पास भी तो लाइक अगर उनके पास है एंड दे आर नॉट रेडी टू न्यूट्रलाइज लिटरली ऑल ऑफ देयर न्यूक्लियर arsenal, which none of these countries are ready to do, by the way. No country is willing to completely neutralize their nuclear weapons. Okay? And चाहे वो ब्लेम किसी पे भी करें. ठीक है? सेन हमको क्यों नहीं है, हमारे पास क्यों नहीं, हमारे इफ़ दिस कंट्रीज डिसाइड टू अटैक अस, हमारे पास अपने आप को डिफेंड करने के लिए क्या है? राइट? सो इंडिया एज अ strategic decision decided to develop and announce to the world that we have our own nuclear weapons. So, as I said, United Nations General Assembly, United Nations Security Council, which is a part of the United Nations overall umbrella, they were all pretty against that. Okay? And now, the thing that everybody is highlighting is that Ukraine had condemned India. First of all, even in this piece, right? Do they even mention this? I swear to God, if they don't mention this, I guess they don't. First of all, they don't mention the fact that the Ukraine, along with 25 other countries that were member of the United Nations Security Council. Yeah, that's also the thing. Yeah, it's pretty discriminatory. I'm not. According to me, it's not that, like, according to me, अगर वो लोगों को कह रहे हैं कि नहीं तुम न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स मत बनाओ, they should give up their nukes first of all. Okay? They should neutralize their nukes. Then they can say to other countries that don't develop nukes. ठीक है? First of all, that is the biggest thing. And second, yeah, this very beautiful article that, by the way, I did not discover this article on my own. ये ट्विटर पे सब गा रहे हैं इस आर्टिकल, इस फैक्ट के बारे में, that oh यूक्रेन की हम हेल्प क्यों करें, यूक्रेन वाओ, यूक्रेन इज आस्किंग फॉर आवर हेल्प, यूक्रेन इज आस्किंग फॉर रशिया, लाइक टू हेल्प देम मीडिएट डिप्लोमेसी विद रशिया. वाई शुड वी हेल्प? You know, they did not support us in our nuclear this thing, like in our nuclear armament, right? In our nuclear empowerment. Why should they did not support us in our nuclear empowerment? Why should India now support them? First of all, these are not two comparable situations. India wanting to have nuclear power and Ukraine currently being attacked by a nuclear power are two very different situations. Okay? One is definitely more serious than the other. First of all. Okay? Second, do you know कि उस समय like I hope they mention the at least the UN resolution number. Yeah, this UN United Nations Security Council resolution 1172. Let's look at, they're like, oh, Ukraine had opposed them, why should we support Ukraine? Let's look at all the countries. Let's look at all the countries that supported this resolution, right? United Nations Security Council resolution 1172. Let's have a look. Let's focus, right? Okay, this is hidden. Can I make it so big that it is not hidden? Hold on. Yeah, I hope you guys can see this. Okay. You know who else signed this resolution, voted yes for this resolution, by the way? First of all, I look at this voting summary. This resolution, United Nations Security Council resolution number 1172, is specifically to condemn India and Pakistan for developing our nuclear weapons. Okay? Specifically for condemning us and asking us to not develop any more weapons or test any more weapons. Okay? Everybody voted for this resolution positively. Okay? Everybody voted for the resolution. Everybody voted for condemning India. Okay? And this, I guess you would have seen this by now. I guess you would have noticed this by now. Notice this? Surprising, right? Because literally everybody in the United Nations Security Council, permanent members especially, none of them want anybody else to have nuclear weapons. Okay? They have their own reasons. But it's not as if Ukraine was particular in their opposition of India having nuclear weapons. Okay? This is open information. Anybody can Google this and learn about this. ठीक है? So this is, ये चीज़ मैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ क्लैरिफाई कर रहा हूँ लोगों के पर्सनल ओपिनियन के लिए. Again, this is not something that I'm saying that the Indian government should take note of, and Indian government should not, because Indian government does not care. Indian government does not remember this. Everybody opposed Indian government. Everybody opposed Indian government's decision to do nuclear tests in Pokhran. Ukraine is not nobody special in that regard. Indian government has legitimate reasons to not take a side in this conflict. But you can, as an individual who has a voice, okay, if you want to donate to the Ukraine relief funds, you want to um, uh, like publicly condemn Russia, right? You want all of that. I think you should do that if you want to, without all of these lame reasons and all of these weird justifications about why you should not oppose Russia and why you should not support Ukraine, right? Uh, that's what I wanted you guys to understand. Um, so yeah, I guess that's it. That's the entire reason I came online to stream today. Uh, any like if you want to post any comments, any questions, anything really, anything you want to say in response to whatever I've said, I will respond, and if not, I will be logging off. and hopefully I will be able to edit all of this together into a more coherent narrative. Is anyone even watching me right now? uh, my prediction about war, what about it? Oh, you want my prediction about the war? Yeah, thank you, Kratos. And that's the thing. I am not very partial in this. I know, I understand. I obviously, as a person, as somebody who has a political conscience, I oppose Russia in this. But uh, yeah, also Hamza, the reason why this is happening is because I use Restream. So I'm simultaneously streaming on Twitch and YouTube both, right? So इसके लिए I use this platform called Restream. Oh God, this has started again. Oh God. Uh, I don't want to deal with this right now. I will. Um you know what? I'm temporarily going to just hide this. I'm going to hide the YouTube chat. I'm sorry, guys. I will still be able to read your comments. I'll just not because ये bot spam करना शुरू कर दिया है, ठीक है? It's a bot. It's a spam bot. It spams in my chat, and I've banned this so many times, and it keeps coming back. I don't know what to do, really. So yeah, okay. My predictions about the war. Okay, yeah, my predictions about the war. I think uh, Ukraine already has outperformed people's expectations. Already जो लोग expect कर रहे थे यूक्रेन से they have exceeded those predictions. लोग कह रहे थे 24 घंटे के अंदर यूक्रेन पे कब्जा हो जाएगा और यूक्रेन का कैपिटल पे रशिया कब्जा होगा और प्रेसिडेंट विल बी डेड. It is the fourth day of the war. Ukraine is still holding out. Right now, their capital Kiev is in a blackout, so I don't have like an up-to-date information of whether or not Kiev is still like under Ukrainian government, but I'm hoping that it is. I think this is uh, a very big economic and diplomatic loss for Russia already. रशिया ऑलरेडी उनकी वर्ल्ड में जो इमेज है, उनके जो डिप्लोमेटिक रिलेशंस हैं दूसरी कंट्री से, गवर्नमेंट से, और उनके जो ट्रेड है, ऑलरेडी ऑल दीज थिंग्स हैव बीन डैमेज्ड. So I think that is something that will make them weaker comparatively. So I don't think even so if the war even goes according to what Russia had planned, even if Kiev falls and they are able to murder President Zelensky and occupy, I don't think they will be able to keep occupying Ukraine. आई थिंक वहाँ पर इतनी इंसर्जेंसी होगी, इतने सारी फाइटिंग होगी, इतना मुश्किल होगा उनके लिए वहाँ पर रहना दैट दे विल हैव टू इवेंचुअली विदड्रॉ. आई एम प्रीटी श्योर बिफोर विदड्रॉइंग दे विल इंस्टॉल सम पपेट गवर्नमेंट बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट दे वांट. ठीक है, वो चेला बनाना चाहते हैं यूक्रेन को अपना. जैसे आप देख रहे होंगे इन बेलारूस एंड चेचनिया, ये सारे देश सारे यूक्रेनियन, नॉट यूक्रेनियन, रशियन सोल्जर्स, रशियन व्हीकल्स, इक्विपमेंट्स को सबको अपने थ्रू आने दे रहे हैं और कह रहे हैं कि ठीक है सर आप आओ हमारी कंट्री के थ्रू अटैक करो यूक्रेन को, हम और अपनी तरफ से और सोल्जर्स दे देते हैं. ठीक है, तो क्या है, ये चेले हैं रशिया के. एंड यूक्रेन को भी रशिया चाहता है कि चेले जैसा बना दे. ठीक है, रशिया, I don't think Russia expects to be able to hold on to Ukraine, but they definitely want a pro-Russian government to be installed before they withdraw from Ukraine, and I don't have high hopes for that because एक बार Russian occupation वो चला जाएगा, I think I think I think Ukraine is in for a tough many years, much like Afghanistan. It is in for a period, like a long lasting period of instability for many years to come. And I think वहाँ के लोगों को तो clearly, like the population of Ukraine has clearly said they don't want to be pro Russia, and Even if Russia installs some pro-Russian puppet there, they will overthrow them. Like in 2014, the whole reason Russia annexed Crimea, right, was that they got really upset that the Russian people had a revolution and they overthrew their then president, who was like a really, really pro-Russian guy, right? I don't like Zelensky, I think उसका नाम था, and not Zelensky तो यूक्रेन का है, उसका कुछ नाम था, ठीक है, I don't remember the name of the president of Ukraine at that time in 2014, since 2010 and 2014, but that guy was really pro-Russian, and the people of Ukraine had a revolution, they had protests, they had like they basically did like a insurrection, and they overthrew the government and they forced that president to flee to Russia. So I think that might happen again. Okay, let me read somebody's comment. Do you like communism? I Okay, compared to capitalism, I like communism. I don't really like, I don't support it. I like it, but I don't like. I think communism a little bit too idealistic. I am a socialist. Okay, I let's leave it at that. Okay, by the way, my personal opinion is okay. This is Hamza Ali's chat. By the way, my personal opinion is there should be big countries to stop imperialism, and there should be democratic, secular republics, or they are like very small states. Do you think that will be a good solution? Like, yeah, I mean, I am a socialist. I would much rather these authoritarian governments not exist. I would definitely prefer all the governments in the world to be democratic, right? Definitely, they should be democratically elected, and they should follow at the least like compared to authoritarianism and state capitalism. I would much rather they be liberal economies. Okay, because with liberal economies, like you can work with that, you can work towards more uh, like democratization of economies from a liberal economy, but as compared to something which is like completely controlled by the state like China, I don't think, like, I think China is behind when it comes to achieving like socialism as compared to other countries like liberal economies like USA or India even. So yeah, that's my, yeah, I would much rather all these countries should be democratic, and because that's the thing, even in a country like USA or in a country like India, इतने आराम से कोई डिसाइड नहीं कर सकता एक पूरे दूसरे देश पे चढ़ाई करने के लिए, ठीक है, दे कांट, one guy cannot decide unilaterally. There's parliaments and there's cabinets and there's so much bureaucracy to get through. This will not be so easy for head of state of any of these countries to do. That's why the monarchy is like, it will not be a monarchy because ostensibly Putin is not a king, but definitely he is a autocrat. He's a um dictator at the very least. I would much rather countries not be governed by dictators, especially countries that have nuclear weapons. So I hope that answers your question, Samza. So I mean, yeah, I think this is it, right? Um, Thank you everyone for joining. I'm sorry I could not keep the stream chat up till the end. No, I need to figure out how, like, a permanent solution as to क्या करूँ इन बॉट्स का, ये स्पैम करते रहते हैं, all this vulgar stuff. And also, like, if you have people that you know about, जो तुम्हारे दोस्त हैं, जानकार हैं, friends, acquaintances, whoever will be interested in like political commentary like this, like the way that I've done now, please ask them to check out my channel. जो भी whatever I've recorded will be available as a video on demand, as a VOD on my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel both, and you can ask them to check this stuff out. Going forward, I will not stream regularly. Maybe I'll not stream like frequently, like every week I might not be able to stream. If there are important topics, I will stream, but I will try to keep my streams shorter, and I'll not try to keep multiple topics in my stream. So I will have limited topics and like one topic or two topics, whatever is more whatever is most relevant right now. And I'll talk about that, and that will be the stream, right? So, uh, yeah, thank you everyone, and have a great day. Bye.